Once more, my humble salutation to you all, and salutation to our beloved Lord Bhagwan Sri Sathya Baba. I hope you had recovered after sitting for such a long time and had a cup of tea, energized. We call it Sai tea. So that's wonderful. And I was wondering actually what I should speak on to the second part, but thanks to the wonderful people and friends, they come and tell me that this incident and that incident, so now suddenly I'm equipped to request Swami, I have set my headphone, please speak through me so I can convey his message to you. And one of the incidents actually which somebody has asked me to share with you, it is also a very profound message. We all worry about the name. This is Sai work, this is my work, this is his work, this is our work, sort of thing. And this is a beautiful incident actually, and actually this is where Swami has formed the bridge between Shirdi Sai and Parthi Sai. I was very fortunate actually. I was given this opportunity to become part of this first ever medical camp done in Shirdi. And one of the good friend who could not come today for the medical camp, Kirit Patel, he was from UK, and that time he was the Seva coordinator. He arranged. And I was very lucky because some very eminent, wonderful people were involved into that one. You are going to hear Brother Kumar in the afternoon. He's an eminent singer. And this is the family of the singers, actually. Pandurang Dikshit, if you remember, he's the man who made the film Shirdi Ke Sai Baba. And his daughter Jyotsna, who married to Raja Reddy. These are the eminent people. I can't sing at all, but I have got a great love of music. I can hear. Swami wants people to hear as well. So that's why Swami always gives some very good singers for the medical camp. I remember one of the incidences, we were going to do the medical camp in Bihar, and somehow the news was there that a local organization in UK has cancelled the medical camp. It's got nothing to do with Sai organization. Many people have withdrawn because there was little problem. And then ultimately, when my father went to Prashanti Nilayam, Swami got them a group for the interview, and my father-in-law was there, and the person who was in charge of the UK at that time. First question, Swami asked my father-in-law, when is he going for the medical camp? And my father, very innocent because he's not involved into, the organization. He said, Swami, somebody said the medical camp is cancelled. Swami says, no, 18 people are going, tell him to arrange everything. So quickly we assemble, and we had only 17 people with us. So we didn't know who were the 18 people. And you always think that the Lord is always there. He's our 18th member of the team and other things like that. And surprisingly enough, as we are about to go, there is a young man came, wonderful singer, probably you have heard about him, Ravi Naseri. He said, I am coming to join the medical camp. So I said, Ravi, what you'll do? He said, I will sing in the evening for the villagers. And that was a wonderful scenario, sitting under a tree and he's singing. So, that is how Swami knows that what is your weakness, and he tried to fill that gap for you. So that's why, and today we are so fortunate that we are going to hear some musical, sort of melodies and his experience through the music. So this is the incidents actually which happened in Swami asked us to go to the Shirdi, and we are all well prepared. And Swami is very particular what to do. So I'm very lucky that I have sat down in the master's feet, and he literally said, what are the things to be done in the medical, what's not to be done in the medical, what is the local, and he has got a great knowledge about this sort of scenario when you are taking any social events. He goes into great detail about things, and it becomes very easy. He said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 don't do. Life is very easy, but because you just follow the master's instruction. So as we were coming out, he suddenly stopped me and he said, one thing you mustn't do when you are in Shirdi, don't say Sai Ram. I said, Swami, that is my bread, that is my life. How can I not say? He said, no, that's what is. I said, Swami, even my hospital in London, people call me Sai Ram doctor, because when they come, whether they are Sai devotee, I say, Sai Ram, sit down. things become easy because he takes in charge. So even if the patient is delayed, aggressive, the moment you say Sai Ram, something happens. So this is a test, Swami says. Swami's other name, test is my test. That is what Swami, so life is. So you have to be prepared. And it's very difficult not to say Sai Ram. So we thought, okay, we'll say Sai Ram. So we came to Mumbai, we all gathered there. And Mr. Chauhan at that time, he was the chief minister, health minister, Mr. Chauhan. He was the chairperson of Shirdi Sansthan, actually. So he made all the arrangements for us to go there. And it was a wonderful, very smooth trip. When Swami arranges everything, there can't be any problem. We came in the Shirdi. The only difficulty was that not to say Sai Ram. So if anybody meets, we say Sai Ram. Quietly say Sai Ram. But we know that he's Antaryamini, he's listening. He has got that, he has got always an agent within us. You know what it is? Called CIA. You know what the CIA stands for? That's it. So that CIA, he has installed in you and he's listening. That message goes to him directly. So somehow we used to control. I thought this is a sadhana, we should not say. So we used to say, Shirdi Sai Ram. So, something to please ourselves. And the camp started and everything was going very well. And it was a very big camp. We had the people, a lot of people were in. We used to go to the village and then operations are done in the evening. Sansthan has given a nice place. And Swami's instructions were that when you are last 2 days of the medical camp, you should not do any operating procedures because when you leave, the patient should not be left healing. There should be completely all the procedures done. So there should not be any complication. That is your responsibility. So the medical camp was going very well. And the Thursday came. So the priest from the Shirdi Mandir, they approached Mr. Dikshit and he said, we cannot go to the villages because of our schedule from Kakad Aarti to Sandhya Aarti and everything like that. Can you ask your doctors to do the medical camp in the Mandir? What an opportunity. In the Samadhi Mandir doing the medical camp. So in the little corridor, we did the medical, seen them and the family and everything. And by the time it was evening time. And suddenly these people told us that we should sing some bhajans. Very good, because we have got Poshanti, they got the harmonium, we had a tabla player in the group and everything, and the bhajan started. You won't believe, I have never sung in my life. And the first Ganesh bhajan sung, and they put the mic in front of me. I said, Swami, firstly, I can't speak. Number one, I'm so scared, standing and speaking, and now you put the bhajans, which I have not. And suddenly only one bhajan I remember because I like. So I said, Manas Bhajare Guru Charanam. And I'm thinking, and Shirdi, I'm thinking, Manas Bhajare Guru Charanam. Somehow I sang. And when you've got the masters next to you, like music maestro, they cover your weaknesses. And you don't know the sur tal. And I said, Swami, I know only one thing, bhava. Rest you control. Sur tal, I agree. Somehow so we had about 9 bhajans. And most of the bhajans are typical, like from Guru Bhajan, a Devi Bhajan, and then we had all things, and finished with Subramanyam. So nicely. Bhajan finished, this main priest got up and he said, I have never heard such a wonderful bhajans and the vibration here, pin drop silent, Sai Ram. Swami told us not to say Sai Ram. Look at his drama. The bridge was made between Shirdi and Sai. That is what exactly. When he asks you not to do something, there is something coming. Just follow him and that will happen. This has happened to me actually another time. I was, probably you all remember Justice Bhagwati. Actually now he's no more there. He arranged a beautiful Sai awareness program in Geneva, and whole thing was taken in the United Nations office. Myself, Professor Ornott, somebody asked me to speak about Professor Ornott. Probably you know all the story. The quickest transformation ever happened in the planet in 3 seconds. The most egoistic man, that professor. You must have read that story. I'd heard many people have shared that story. If time permits, I'll tell you about it. He was supposed to speak about how he got in fold of Swami. And Professor Keith Critchlow, the one who is the architect behind, 3 of us. And Swami categorically told me not to use his name. And just, how Swami, talking about you, how can I not use name? But you know that there must be a reason. So the meeting went on, and just I said, Swami, what should I say? Swami said, just talk about social programs, water project, and everything. You don't have to say that I am doing and everything. And I knew that Swami has got some subtle messages behind. Fine. So I had 30 minutes. And the 30 minutes becomes, a little bit time. You can't explain the glory of the Swami, because that time sad thing you are saying about the hospital and everything. So it all finished. And then there was a question and answer session. In the question and answer session, the first thing was, there is a question for you, doctor. Who is behind all this? What you have said. My time was 30 minutes about giving the projects. I spoke one about Swami. This is what Swami's beauty. 30 minutes is not enough. You don't have to speak about me, and that's what exactly. And the last question came, because they've seen all these beautiful videos and everything. He said, you go to all these places where the war is taken place, Afghanistan, Bosnia, Chechnya, where the bombs and everything is going on. In Africa and some of the countries which have got the civil war going. Many of the United Nations people, when they go there, they are kidnapped. Many of them have to face. There is a gentleman who worked for the United Nations. That's why I remember this incident. How it is that when we go there, we face the gun. And when you go there, the people really hug you and everything. What is the difference? And I said, Swami, I don't know the answer. And I'm looking, Swami, what should I answer? Swami gives you the answer. There is a man from peacekeeping force walks in. And you know what is the code of the peacekeeping force? They got the blue berets, uniform, and a machine gun. He came to give a little slip to Justice Bhagwati. There was a message. And I got my answer. I said, the difference is when you go there with the gun, you are received with the gun. We go with the love, we are received with the love. That is the difference. That's no other thing. You see how Swami put the answer in your mind. So when we went to, I will come back to the Shirdi again, that Swami has said that not to use the name. Swami has made the connection. And also that evening somebody has, when this priest was also talking, he said, beautiful thing. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadevai namaskaram keshvam prati gacchati. Don't worry about what name you use. People may not understand that Swami is Krishna, Swami is Rama, Swami is Jesus, Swami is everything. He is Nanak. Because he doesn't see Swami in that image. But Swami has given that vision. Then when you go to the church, you are looking at Jesus, you are looking Jesus Sai. Not Sai, you are looking Isa. Isa and Sai, you reverse it, it becomes Sai. Right, in India, it's called Isa Masiha. So Isa, and you turn that, it becomes Sai. That is the beauty. So Swami said, open your eyes. You do not have to worry about that is a Krishna devotee, Gayatri devotee, or any other deity. All the names come to me, like all the rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Thames, and St. John River, they all go to the ocean. And the moment they merge into the ocean, name disappear. Nobody can say, this was Ganga, this was Yamuna, this was Godavari. Once you go to the sun, you lose the identity. And that losing the identity is important. Don't identify yourself. Yes, I am this. I am from the Sai organization. I am part of you because I come from that magnanimity. I am the drop which is ready to merge with you, and I'll become part of you. That is what the subtle message Swami wanted to give through this camp. And many incidences happen into this camp. Test again. 2 days before, last day, there is a young priest walks into the medical camp. We are about to pack everything. I always keep a little Swami's picture in my instruments. The door, just when you open, Swami is in front of you, because he said, I guard you, I guide you. And when you see physically he's present there, you feel very happy that he's right in front of you. He's watching you, all those words come forward. Watch. So this man comes, and he has got a very simple problem. His lid is slightly drooping. And he said, I did not get time to come and see you when you did the medical examination in the mandir. And you must do something about my eyes. I said, young man, you're a bit late. My master has said that not to do anything 2 days before, and I cannot disobey him because once I go, who is going to look after? He said, it's very important for me because I finished all my training here. I'm going to village. My mother wants me to get married. And that is the obstruction. It has to be lifted up and all those things. I said, I'm very sorry. He looked at me. You know what he said, the word? He's a young man, young priest from there. He said, why fear when he is there? Swami said, don't do anything. And now he's saying, why fear? How did he know? Test again. Swami, you said not to do operation. And now he's doing, where I stand. I said, okay, Swami, we'll do one thing. I'll write 2 slips, yes and no, and put it there and ask that man to pick up one. I put the 2 slips and I started praying, Swami, I'm very obedient. It must be no. Praying very hard. He picks up the slip, yes. Either don't ask Swami, but if you ask, you have to obey. How can we do anything? Anyhow, there was no choice. We did a small operation onto him. And then I said, look, we are all leaving tomorrow. From there, we were supposed to go to Bhopal. You know, after the gas disaster, we were doing a follow-up camp there as well. So Shirdi, we were supposed to go to Bhopal. So we said and Ram Navami was coming. So you know, when the Ram Navami comes in Shirdi, it is a huge festival. It's like Swami's birthday function. People come from all over the place, and road becomes very congested, difficult. And we all decided to leave 4 o'clock. Today, Kirit Bhai's 2 friends were here, Nisha and husband. I just spoke to him on the phone. He was one of the organizers for this. And he gave the instructions that you make sure that we all leave. So whole night we are supposed to pack. So naturally, the doctors were given a little things that other volunteers will pack. You can go and rest. So, you know, when I came down, all the rooms were filled with all the packed materials. So I didn't know which room I am supposed to go to. Somebody said, look, that there is one room, they have put only few boxes. There is a settee you can lie down. That was not my room where I usually was staying there. So I lie down on the settee because it's quite late in the night anyway. And we have to get up early morning. So I gave the instruction to this gentleman that I'll come 4 o'clock before I leave to see you, remove the bandage, give you a little notes. When you come back after 7 days, you can get the stitches removed, 4 o'clock. So, and I came and I told one of my colleagues that please wake me up at 3:30. He had an alarm clock. Those days there was no mobile phone and other things. So I slept. And naturally sometimes you oversleep at 4 o'clock. I had a knock on the door. I got up, my goodness, it's 4 o'clock. I have to rush to see this man. This man is standing there at the door. Now think about it. I didn't know which room I am sleeping because it was not my room. How did he know that I'm in that room? So first I said, I was coming. He said, no, there is one gentleman came and he said he's very lazy. He won't get up that time. I'll better take you where he is. So, but I said, suddenly then I realized, but how did he know that which room I am? Then I suddenly realized, oh Swami, you have to take so much trouble for us that you have to come all the way and show this lazy man is sleeping in this room and you go and see him. That is what Mother Sai does when you take any action for him. That is something very, very important to learn. To cut the story short, we all came to Bhopal. We did our nice medical camp. And then from there, finishing the medical camp, we came to Whitefield. And we knew that Swami was in Whitefield. And when we came out of the station, that we had the people from England, some English people, some people from Africa, some Indian people. And so in those days, there were steam trains. There was not the electric train. So when we came out to, outside and we are looking at the platform to each other, we all looked the same ash color. Because, the steam trains has got so much dust and steam, you all get covered into that one. And we are laughing at each other. Swami has changed into one color. Not white, black, and brown. We are all ash color. But Swami said, wait. Then we suddenly just came running and said, it is a bad news. Swami has just gone to Uti. My Swami, we don't have enough time. But somehow we decided that we'll go to Uti. So we got some 4 taxis, got into the taxi. And then we went. Swami tests you, each and everything, whether you really believe what he says or not. Halfway through the Uti, one taxi breaks down. And the other taxis are all right. So we asked the taxi man, how long will it take to repair? He says, 45 minutes, maybe more. So all other people started saying, look, Swami will finish the darshan and tomorrow morning we have to come down because we have to take our plane to go to England because some people have got a ticket next day. And we do not have time to wait for Swami's darshan next day because otherwise we won't be able to get the train, our plane connecting flight. So I said, no, we should wait. So he said, look, Swami said, it's their karma. Their taxi broke down. Our taxi did not break. So we should carry on. I said, no. Unity. We all came together. We should stay together. We are not moving. They were not very happy. It took more than 2 hours. And when we reached Uti, you won't believe what the scenario was. Everybody was rushing from the Swami's bungalow down there. And whatever things, before we could take our things out, people got our taxi and they wanted to go to Kodaikanal. So I said, what has happened? He said, Swami is early morning going to Kodaikanal. Swami, I thought for the unity's sake, at least you could have given an evening darshan. Now you are going to Kodaikanal, what we can do? He said, Swami is leaving early in the morning, 6 o'clock, Kodaikanal, no darshan tomorrow. And all these people looked with the dagger look at me. Because of you, we have missed darshan. And I could not face. I remember it was a Thursday. And I said, let's go and find a place. So we asked somebody where to go. He said, if Swami was staying, even if you have each paid 4,000 rupees, those days it was quite a lot, you would not have got the room. But now you can get for 200 rupees any room because everybody is going. So there is no problem. So we got a nice place. We all stayed. Evening, we all had a bath. And then we had an agarbatti. We all sang few bhajans at agarbatti. And I prayed to Swami, if nothing, early morning, just give your darshan. We just want to look at your lovely face, and then we'll take the taxi and go to the airport. We just want your darshan, because many of the people wanted to go. Of course, the flight was in the evening, but there was no way we could have gone to Kodaikanal and then come. So it was our first time in the Kodaikanal. So we did not know where to go because there were hardly any people were there. So I asked somebody how to reach the Swami's things, and he directed. So we all went. So there was a lady from Ghana. Her name is Ajiman. She has written a book as well. On the way, as we are climbing the hill, she came and told me, Dr. Upadhyay, Swami told me that he is going to give us an interview. I said, they're all very angry. If I give them a false hope, they will shoot me. You are talking about the interview? If we can have a glimpse of Swami before we leave, and look at the Swami's plan. We went there. So, like Ma Durga has got the tiger, Lord Shiva has got the Nandi and all those things. The moment we reached there, there was fence and there was a round, the metal door which revolves and only one person can go, a small one. The moment we reached there, this wonderful servants of Swami called Sevada, they ran towards her. He said, you're on the wrong place. This is not the way to come. This is only for the student. Go back and come from that side. Where, sir? He said, go down, walk all the way here, and can you see there are a few people standing at the gate? That is where Swami will be leaving soon. And we could see that the bus was ready. People were loading then, and Swami's car was ready. So I said, sir, we don't want to enter inside. Let us stand there so that we can see the Swami, because, portico was there. We thought this is a place at least we... He said, no, you cannot stand. You can win Swami, but not the Sevada. That's very, very challenging. Doesn't matter. Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, whatever you use, you cannot convince them. I learned. So I told them, please. He said, no, you go. What you do? Those days, there was no telephone, no telegram. How do you do? So you have got anything called Sai connection. So we all got hold of our hands, and we did Sai Gayatri 9 times. And then we turned back. As we turned back, one of the students came running. You people are coming from medical camp? Yes. Swami said, you go and sit down by the portico. My goodness. Listen, the moment we finished the Sai Gayatri, the message, I said, Swami, thank you very much. We were all sat down there. So the man this side, another side. So May Ejiman's husband, Dr. Ejiman, he's also Ghanaian man, because his first time he has come to India. He's never seen Swami, and he also was in the medical camp in Shirdi. He bought a Shirdi Sai Charitra in English. So he was in the first row sitting next to me, was reading. And suddenly the sun rising behind the hills of the Uti. And in that glow with the orange robe, Swami is glowing. And his hair, like the rays is coming from his hair. I have never forget that look of the Swami. As he walked, the sun was behind him. And you know, like in the photographs, you see the glow behind the god and goddess. It's exactly like this. I thought, he is the sun. And my heart literally sank. I said, Swami, so enchanting beauty. And gradually he glided down himself and came to Dr. Ejiman, materialized the vibhuti and gave it to him. He said, very nice book, very nice book. Santosh, I'm very happy. And this fellow didn't know what to do. I'm telling him, take Swami's Pad Namaskar. Because poor chap didn't know, he's asking me what to do. I said, Swami, it's okay. And then he asked me, how many of you? I didn't know how many of us we were there. I said, Swami, 14. He said, look at him. He doesn't even know. He brought the people. He doesn't know how many numbers are. He said, go in. Can you imagine? He's going to Kodaikanal and everybody is looking. And now the chaos is started at the main gate where the people are waiting. Why these people are allowed in? Why we are standing outside? Swami says, open the gate. His children, we are children, they are children. They all came and sat down. Swami took us inside. We had a 90 minutes interview. He gave the indication to May Ejiman, I did not believe. And first thing Swami said, be united in my love to serve. Be united in my love to serve. That has become my life's motto. Whenever I send an email to anyone, I still write that word. That is given from that day. And I remember, oh my Lord, you have saved my life. These people would have literally shoot me actually on, if I have gone without your darshan. And firstly, Swami praised. There was an Iranian group. He said, they sang yesterday, Raghupati Raghav Raja Naam, Ishwar Allah Tero Naam. They sang so beautifully. And then he just said, how was the medical camp? So I said, Swami, you know everything? Yes, as I know everything. And we had a gentleman from Cardiff. His name is Dr. Paul. So he said, Swami, we have to learn the respect he gives to the people. He is God incarnate himself. And he asked, sir, how are you? So he's looking, you, sir? So he got up. He said, Swami, I'm happy. So how was the medical camp? Very good, Swami, very busy. He said, there was an old lady. Why did you send her for an X-ray? So he said, Swami, I've seen hundreds of the people. How can I remember one old lady? Swami said, close your eyes. And that man was, then Swami is describing, there is a lady about 85 years of age, torn sari. There was a blood-stained sari. She was coughing blood, all this thing. Absolutely emaciated. This is the word Swami used. Only medical people probably understand. Emaciated means the one who has lost so much weight. She's bone and skin. Oh yes, Swami, I thought she had tuberculosis. Swami said, you thought she has tuberculosis? What do you need X-ray for? Go to the basics. How you diagnose tuberculosis? You forgot percussion? I was sitting next to Swami. He put my back. I still remember that wonderful touch. And those doctors who knows the back Swami is stepping. When you are percussing the back, you have the sign of the cavity. If you don't have that, take your stethoscope and listen. You will get the rails and bronchi. Swami is telling a professor of pulmonology in England, what is the science of tuberculosis? Can you imagine? Rails and bronchi. That's why and this fellow is just looking. And then he said, sir, if this lady had money enough, she would not have got the tuberculosis. Where would she have the money to have the X-ray? And she looked. When you go to the medical camp, make sure everything is there for the diagnosis. Don't leave it to the patient to arrange everything. I said, thank you very much, Swami. And then after that, he looked, one of the gentlemen, his son-in-law is here, actually, is Vinubhai. He was looking after the pharmacy, and he brought a pharmacist there. So he asked that pharmacist, sir, what is the difference between the chocolate and medicine? So this fellow very intelligently got up. He says, Swami, chocolate is very sweet, and medicine is bitter. Swami said, have you ever tested Sudafed syrup? He said, Swami, that is sweet. He said, then? And he said, Naturally, you can't argue with Swami, so I told him, don't argue. He says, I don't know. You will get the answer, because we don't want Swami to waste time with you alone. We want him to talk to us as well. So I said, just said you don't know. So Swami said, keep quiet. So then Swami said, the difference between the medicine and sweet, if you have got 4 bars of chocolate, you can break into the eight pieces and sweeten the mouth of the 8 people. They will all get the sweat of the teeth. But if you got the medicine for 10 people and distribute 20 people, none of them will be better, and you will make them resistant to the antibiotics. Can you imagine? So don't do anything. So then I asked, Swami, if we do not have the medicine, these people come from so long, how we satisfied them? So Swami looked at me and said, do you think you see a few thousand patients and that's the end of it? Who treat the patients when there is a deer is hurt in the jungle, when is a bird is shot and not dead and almost needs something and bleeding? Who cures? Vedyo Narayana Hari. I am the one who cured them when nobody goes there. I take care of them. I said, Swami, how? We have to give them something. Swami said, you're an eye doctor. I said, yes, Swami, you made me one. So he said, what happened if there is a kidney patient? So I said, Swami, I will refer the patient to the kidney doctor. So what happens? Swami, once I refer, that becomes his responsibility to take care, because that is not my, refer the patient to me. Swami, how I refer the patient? Just put the vibhuti, any part of his body, he is referred to me, and according to his sanchit punya karma, I'll give him the treatment. That is the profound statement of the Swami. But you have to have that faith to refer the patient to this. Don't say, I'm putting vibhuti, you'll be all right. No. I'm referring you to the Swami, and the Swami will take the judgment, look at the history seat, and do all the percussion and auscultation and see that what treatment he's requiring, and he will give that. That is the Lord's declaration there. And that's such an important thing. And that takes me to a connected story with this one. What is sanchit punya karma? What is a sanchit punya karma? When you get the reward from the Swami, the 2 incidences, one happened in 1957, and then one happened right in front of me. There was a gentleman here, actually, he was telling me to discuss the story of Professor Arnold. That thing, it is connected with that one, but that's a long story. Probably we'll talk tomorrow if we have time. But this is something to remember, that what is the sanchit punya karma. This story Swami is prompting me to tell you to remember that how the things happen. What is a sanchit punya karma, and what is the time of the grace to click to get the result? I was there with the Professor Arnold as well. And Swami called few people, and we were also asked to go in. And Swami asked one of the gentlemen in the veranda, bring your wife as well. And this lady was in a wheelchair. So naturally, the 2 of the Seva, the ladies, they wheeled in. The men, her husband went inside, we all went inside. I was the last one to go. Swami, as that lady came onto the veranda, right at the door, you won't believe what Swami did. Swami went inside and closed the door. The lady is still outside. Can you imagine what would have gone through her mind? I met her after that. Swami made it possible. She said, Doctor, at that time, I thought if the earth parts, I will get down. Because all these 10,000 people sitting there thinking, what sin I have done, that Swami has just closed the door right on my face. What did you do, sister? That time I've gone through entire my life, what I have done, the guilt has really burnt myself completely, and I lost my existence. And those period till 20 minutes Swami has opened the door, I did not know. I did not exist at that time. I didn't know where I was. And then you know what Swami did? Swami came out. Oh, Amma, you are still here. What you can do? That poor husband is almost crying. His wife is outside. And Swami has not told anybody to take that lady back, and she's just putting her head down because all the veranda people are sitting there and everybody is looking. And no doubt that this lady must have done something wrong. The Swami has not. You know how we are. If somebody goes in, we are jealous. If somebody is not taken, we are happy. You know, this is what our human nature is. I did get interview, we did get interview, fine. You got interview, I did get, why? You know, this is Swami, he has monkey mind. He has put it to my lovely, one of Sai mother, Phyllis Crystal. I spent a lot of time with her. She has told that is what exactly the monkey mind is. The good things we respond into positive, and bad things we respond into negative. That's so. This lady didn't know. Look at the Swami, says, "Why are you in the wheelchair?" Swami, I cannot walk. Swami said, "Oh, you can't walk." He extended his hand. He said, "Amma, get up." And I'm right in front of. She got up. Swami pushed the wheelchair. He said, "Walk." And she said, "You know, the time," look at the husband, when she was waiting the 30 minutes outside this door, that time, all her Sanchit Purna Karma, they were waiting for that period. And that time she did not think about youth, she did not think about herself, children, everything. She was thinking only one thing, sigh, 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 sigh. And that has earned the grace for her to walk again. In front of the 10,000 people, that lady walked. And next day I was in the same flight with her and sitting next to her with her husband. That is so much beautiful. That is called Sanchit Put Karma. At the face of it, you'd like that he's punishing you, not looking at you. But there is something behind it. You have to wait for that click moment. The moment that moment it clicked, it all unfolds. And this takes, in the story, this happened in 97. We got almost 57. There was a gentleman, his name was Rusi Patel. He didn't know anything about the Swami, and he came to Puttaparthi because he had 2.5-year-old daughter. She could not walk, she could not speak. And somebody told her that go to this holy man in Prashanti Nilayam. He will cure. Those were good days, only few people, everybody can see Swami that time. Swami talks to each and everyone. And then this gentleman is sitting in darshan line. Swami did not speak to him at all. And 2 days he sat down there, but Swami even did not talk to him. Somebody said, give a letter to Swami. And this man said, you all say that he is all-knowing, all-pervading. He knows why I'm here. Why should I have to give a letter? He knows everything. Why do I have to write? He said, look, try. He said, no. And somebody said, when he comes, fold hand and say that what you want. He said, no. If he is really God, he knows why I have come for. Swami did not speak. Shivratri was coming, and next day following day was the Shivratri. That evening Swami came for the darshan before Shivratri, and he stood on to the terrace that given to darshan, and the announcement came that from tomorrow there won't be any interviews after Shivratri. So this man said, there is no point for me to stay here. My daughter is alone with my relatives. I must travel. And in the train, they are traveling for Bangalore. A few more people are traveling, and they are all talking to him. So unfortunate that you came all the way, but Swami did not talk to you, did not see, and all those things. And this fellow is just simply thinking, have I not earned any grace? Have not done anything good that God can think about my daughter? Not treat, he said, can think about my daughter. So the wife and them, they came home. And they just knocked. Those were no doorbells this day. And surprise of all surprise, the 2.5-year-old child came running, and first time in his life said, Daddy. She was paralyzed by birth, could not speak, came there. Swami, while there, listened to their prayer and realized the conviction of this man. I don't have to give the letter to Swami. I do not have to ask. He is Antaryamin. He knows everything. And the cure, thousands miles away, was done. And the kid too spoke first time the word daddy and walked on the 2 feet. That is the grace of the God. That is called Sanchit Put Karma. You don't have to ask for anything. This is the most beautiful thing which we have to think in our life, that what Swami is preparing us for, that we don't have to. And the similar story takes me back to the Ghana. And we have Chandrika ji here, and God bless our brother, Mr. Recently he's merged into Swami. His name is Brother Kishan Kupchandani. He was the zone chair, probably many of you might know. Zone chair, Mr. Jose knows him. He was a zone chair for Africa, United Kingdom, Middle East, and really very dedicated man. This is first medical camp ever arranged, and education human value program. I don't know whether you were part of it in Ghana. Victor Kanu, and from India, all the dignitaries came, including Mr. Sri Srinivasan. And it was a huge thing, government-sponsored program for the education human values. We stayed in Accra in the university, and we absolutely wonderful scenario like Suprabhatam, and we have got Nagar Sankirtan, and then we were sent to the medical. So conference was going on. Before I left England, I was given a task that come prepared and bring somebody. There is a boy who had a meningitis. He was unconscious in the hospital, and the witch doctor and local villagers, because of their local treatment, has taken him away from this thing. And our job was to convince the villagers that this gentleman will die without the proper treatment. He must come back. So we were given that village. So in the morning, we prayed to Swami, and we left for the village. I thought it was a very easy task to go and convince the people that we have come all the way, he will be cured, and sort of thing. You're thinking that things. The moment you think the task is easy, it becomes very difficult. You have to remember that. Never go on easy on anything, whether it is small. Sometimes the last 10 steps when you are at the doorstep can become very difficult. All the journey of 1,000 miles easy, but those last 10 steps can be very difficult. So we went there. And we had an interpreter with us, and we were given a truck and a four-wheeler, which was, to be driven. So we went there. When the main road finished, we have to go to the forest, very narrow roads there, and we came to the edge of the forest, and the driver stopped. He said, "I can't take it anything beyond. The village is further down. You may have to walk down." So we came out with the interpreter. We had 4 doctors with us and a nurse and the interpreter. We walked down. This was my first time in the African bushes, sort of jungle and the things like that. And it is quite deep into the forest. And my imagination was watching the Tarzan films was that there will be a python going, the roar of the tiger, the drums going on. But Swami is wonderful, actually. He protects us. None of that has happened. But you could hear the drum sound was going on like this. And this man told me that signs are not very good. These people know that we are coming. I said, these are the welcome drums. Don't worry, everything will be all right. So we reached the village. And just as we are entering, we got this few very fierce-looking people. And the leader of the group was typically in their, native African dress with a hat and everything, looking very fiercely with a pierce in hand. And he thumping onto the ground like this. And he spoke something in the local language. He said, so interpreter said, "Sir, I think the best thing that we should leave. They are not very welcoming. We should not go into the village." I said, no, you go and talk to him. That we are not going to do anything. We just want to see the condition of that boy. If he's all right, we will go. Otherwise, we will do something about it. He said, no, you are not allowed. So that time I realized it is not easy. And what happens? When it is not easy, then you remember Swami. So I said, Swami, we have given this task, and this man has become a big obstruction. What can we do? The moment I started to say, Sairam, Sairam, this man came a bit near. And so my interpreter said, just move back. So his intentions are not very good. So I said, no, I will stand firm. I said, Sairam, Sairam, Sairam. He's not looking at me. He's looking at the emblem which I had. And that emblem had the Swami's picture. He's looking at that. And as he reached there, his stern look turned into the smile. He took his hat away, moved his head, and showing my hair. So I asked, I couldn't understand what he's trying to say. So interpreter said, he's trying to say, he's my brother. My hair and his brother. Where is he? So I said, he's very much here, sir. Tell him that he is the one who sent us to see that boy. Can you imagine? This is what exactly the Swami changed the scenario. This fear, he got, but he said, still, I don't want anybody to interfere what we are doing. I don't want all of you there. You can come, 2 of you. So I took one of the lady doctor, who was a physician, And because she didn't want to go alone, he told, you come, because I had that number. So I said, okay, and the interpreter. And we went inside, and they are watching us what we are doing. As we reached inside the village, typical village, cockroaches running, dogs moving about, water, and all dirty sort of thing. And this boy is lying on the floor on a mat, cyanosed. You can understand what cyanosis means. He's really, because he has got no intravenous food, nothing is going to the body, he's got meningitis. And I knew probably, and there was no sign. The mother sitting next to him was crying. So I said, what has happened? They said this boy was not moving, so we had brought him out from the hut outside. So I said, Swami, please save his life. Not for anybody else, but for the sake of the mother, because somebody told that he's the only child. So I asked my colleague, Dr. Tang, to examine. So she had got some experience in the neurosciences. So she went and looked at, I said, no pulse, no problem. He said, you look at the eyes, whether he's brain dead or not, you know. So if there is no pulse and other things, like when you look into the eyes, put a torchlight, the people are not reacting, means everything is gone. So, you know, so in order to do that, I knelt down there. I put my hand. There was something, some cloth for which he was resting his head on that cloth. As I put my hand, something touched my finger. And the fear, is the Scorpio? What is there? But I said, no, I lifted. And you won't believe, it was Swami's picture under his cloth, already there. I just got up and told this man, sir, whether you want us to treat or not, this boy is going to be okay. If it is okay with you, test this powder, you test this, and can I put this in his mouth and on the forehead? So he was very dubious sort of thing. So let me test what it is. He took. I knew the moment the vibhuti goes into mouth, he will melt. So he took the vibhuti first, and he said, yes, you can do that one. So I put on the lips of that boy onto the forehead, prayed to the Swami. 5 minutes later, this man totally changed. Only about 10 minutes ago, this fellow was fiercely challenging us not to enter. There he said, one condition you can treat this boy. You have to do the medical camp in my village first. Then you can do anything else. That is the, you know what Swami's drama is, the transformation. Naturally, after that, now the question is how we treat. He said, I will not allow you people to take this boy to the hospital. If you want to treat, you can treat here. We've got everything. We've got intravenous infusion. We have got antibiotics and everything, whatnot. But I've got no nurse there. Swami, how we do that thing? Then one of the young lady in her late 30s came out, and he says, doctor, probably you do not remember me. He said Sairam to me. I literally had a shock of my life. In that village, a lady comes and tells me Sairam. So I said, Sairam, sister, do I know? Yes. You came to Guildford to give us a talk, you remember? So I said, he said, I work in one of the neurosurgery brain unit where I deal with the patients with all sorts of complications, including meningitis. I'm trained for it. A most trained person in United come is from that village telling me Sairam and a Sai devotee. Swami has already set the scene for that one. He said, if you got everything like that, we have got a primary health shelter we can take. Because of the fear that compounder has run away, there is nothing, but there is a bed, I can set up everything. To cut the story short, Swami has already arranged the drama and everything is done. And I'm asking, Swami, you could have cured him already. Why you have to do all this drama to send us and all those things? The beauty is that you do my work, I will show my grace to you to show how you transform the people. And naturally it is, regardless to say that village has been adopted and that man has started a Sai Central later on, and he agreed that to go on to vaccination and the programs to that one. That is why Swami sent you to a particular place. The similar story further after that village, after doing all the medical camp, we went to further onto the border actually. One of the last villages there. We are working, everything was going very well. It was the last day of the medical camp. We are almost to leave. Normally we leave about an hour before the sunset. So all the people who have come from the villages, they can go to their villages, because in the dark there are a lot of wild animals and other things like that. And we also return in the daylight to where we were staying in the guest house. So I was just about to pack. There is a lady who walks, a young lady, about 20 years, with a child just newly born, maybe a week or 2 weeks old. And she takes the cloth out of the forehead of that child. And I could see the child had a condition, the pus was pouring out of the eyes, both eyes. Even the eyeball was not to be seen, you can't see that. I recognized the condition. Those people who are doctors, this is called ophthalmia neonatorum. This is due to during the passage of the birth. If the mother has got the infection in the birth canal, the child will get. There is a treatment for that, but in the village, where is the treatment? And I said, Swami, why you are testing? If this lady has come after I have gone, at least I would not have the guilt that I have seen the child and I could not do anything, and this child will go blind, because the pulse will literally melt both the eyes. And this poor lady will be burdened with this blind child in this remote part of the world in Africa. Why? Why, Swami? Then I thought we must do something. Something is better than nothing. So I asked one of the nurses, take some penicillin tablets out, crush the penicillin tablets out, mix in distilled water, and we will start putting the drops there. She took the penicillin tablets, and before she did, she looked at me. He said, you remember once you were talking to us about this thing? He said, Swami has told you, don't do what you won't do for your own children. Just remember the word, don't do anything what you won't do it for your children. Would you put a penicillin tablet powder in your own child? You said in your word, and you are doing the same thing. Is what you do and what you preach is two different things? I suddenly remember, thank you, sister, reminding me. I said, stop. So I said, Swami's age-old thing, Swami, I referred this patient to you. And I put the vibhuti on the forehead of that child. As I'm doing that, some of my, the people like our interpreter, they are taking our instruments and other things one by one to the truck. And the driver comes from the truck and he said, I just found this box. Where is this box has to go, because everything is settled, but I didn't see that box. I looked at the box. Eye drops, it is written on the box. Beautifully parcel packed and everything. I said, we didn't bring that box because, the scenario is those people who have done the medical camps, they have seen that we have to pack in everything on the boxes, write down one of the slip, what medicines, what instruments are there. We send the advance copy to the country, to the customs, so they can see what are the things, because it is very difficult to open all the boxes. Because it's the hundreds of the boxes, it is very difficult to see what is in. So they normally see the list and open one of the boxes, probably in the beginning when we started the medical camp, and they check whether everything is right or not. But after some time, knowing these are the Sai people, they stopped doing. But Swami said meticulously, do not put anything else what is not in the list. That is the important discipline we have learned from Swami. I said, I didn't bring, and look at the list and that thing. I said, let me see what is happening. You won't believe. That was the medicine which I needed for that child. I said, oh, Swami. Medicine is there, but procedure of that medicine, those people who are ophthalmologists, they will know. You have to put that drop one drop every 5 minutes for half an hour, then every 10 minutes for another half hour, then half an hour for the rest of the day. Then only the pus will dissolve and other things. So one of the nurses very happily said, I will happy to do it, provided you are happy to wait for me. So I said, okay, you do, there's no problem. So I sent rest of the team. We asked one of the vehicle to wait for us. Till 11 o'clock in the night, she constantly, without eating and drinking, that nurse was doing something. And you could see after that time, the little bit white and the brown of the eyes started showing. I told the mother, your child would be absolutely fine. And then we left, given the medicine to the mother. Following day, we went again. Nurses stayed with her. So 3 days this went on, and child was fine. After few months, I went to Swami, and the Swami was very graciously has allowed me to, have the Pad Namaskar, and says, did you like my services, it is faster than DHL. You pray and it is there. Which DHL will take a fraction of a second, you pray and it is there. That is the magnanimity of your Lord. Do not undermine your prayers, but you have to pray from the heart, and you have the very, very clear intention. That is what the most important. How much time is that? 20 minutes. So this is what so important in our life. But he also tell you something, and he said, when you go next time, you make sure that you have got everything. Swami, what we know that what will come. Pray that you have got everything, whether it is used or not. Then 2 years later, we had a similar situation in another camp. We had this time we had the medicine with us, and we had a doubting Thomas, a doctor from the Moorfield Eye Hospital, with us, who came, didn't believe in Swami and miracles and all sort of thing and all those things. And he came, he said, oh, we have got this similar case actually. So I said, this time we have brought the medicine. But he said, no, it is not going to help because it's a very advanced case. I said, you try, my dear friend. And he tried the same thing. We had a dedicated nurse and she did it. He published that case actually in the British Medical Journal, how in the village scenario, how that medicine worked and how the child has restored the eyesight. So sometimes Swami create this situation for the doubting Thomases that you come and learn that yes, in the remote parts also the medicine work. But Swami has taught us one thing, that if we are working in the remote part of the world, do not compromise with the excellence and the technology. You must be well equipped when you know. So now what we do normally, we ask the host, tell us what are the things we have to bring with us. We have a gentleman here, actually, he was talking to me during the break, actually. Swami recognized the importance of the modern technology. And when the small incision cataract surgery started, actually, people did not realize they will require the laser to do the capsulotomy, because after 2-3 years later, the capsule gets, people call is recataract formation. It's not a recataract formation, but Swami wanted to give the best to the people. It's not that he has created a super specialty hospital just because for the sake of that he has got a big hospital. He wanted to minimize the fatalities and maximize the people's workability so the people can rehabilitate to earn their own bread and butter. That was the reason, actually. And I remember when I did a medical camp in 1960, in that school, we were boiling our instruments in pressure cooker. That time, Swami told me, in few years' time, there will be a hospital here where the people will be slicing the instrument with gamma rays and you will be carrying the laser instruments in your briefcase. That time we never thought about the laser, and that really happened that I took one of the laser machine, which is specially made for in the briefcase, that's called portable lasers. That can you imagine? Swami is ahead of the invention. He is the one who give the vision to the invention, people who done the invention and scientists. You know the story of our famous Dr. Jim Sai, how he got the problem solved. This is what exactly it is, whether you recognize or you don't recognize. He is behind each and every moment happening, whether you say thank you, Swami, or not, but he is behind all the events that is happening. It gives me a little time actually to speak about the faith in Swami, how the faith become the shield. I'm going to show you a little video which was shown 3 days ago during the Buddha Purnima time from the Nepal organization, the work which they have been doing. It is really a very painful situation. After every disaster, there are more problems. You know, when you go to a disaster, you treat the people, you look after them and all those things. But you do not understand what happened after disaster. We all come happily. But after the disaster, those children who have lost their parents, have you ever thought what happened to them? Many of the people, they claim as a false identity, she is my niece, he's my nephew and all those things. They take those children and they become, unfortunately, they get involved with the human trafficking. A lot of the girls have sold for all sorts of things, and the boys sold for the, drugs and other things like that. So these sort of things do happen. You do a good thing, but there are vultures outside and they take. And when there is a chaos, they take the advantage because you are not able to do. So after the earthquake, SSIO organization has decided actually they will do something. They say if you claim that that person is your nephew or niece or anything, wait till everything is over. Bring the identity. Once it is proved, then only we'll give. Otherwise, it is going to stay with us. And during this period, they didn't have a place. There was a young man, and he said, you can do one thing. My uncle is not here. I've got nice three-storied house. You can put all these children there till everything is settled and whatever funding comes, and we can make the hostel for these girls. So we kept those children. All these children who were orphans called Anatha, now they have become the children of Sainatha. From Anatha, they become that is the dedication. And many of the people have adopted them, those children who have got nobody. I went to this brother Amar's house. He has got two boys and a girl living there. And they don't go to the ordinary school. They have sent him the best private school. The reason is very simple, because he sees those children as side children, where they will see the best thing. He's the man, actually. This is again the United Nations story. He was in 2000 posted in Iraq. You remember about the war in Iraq. He was working for the United Nations. One day after doing his prayer, he put his vibhuti, came down and asked the driver, and where are other people? We have to go for the meeting. He said, Brother Amar, you're too early. The meeting is not that early. You can have some rest. Instead of going back, he sat down into the lounge. 10 minutes he's sitting, and suddenly a man barged in with a hand grenade and a machine gun in his hand. He became the hostage in his own office. And he was so aggressive. And this gentleman, Brother Amar, he is a Zone 4B zone coordinator, very big man. He could have used his force, but he realized force against force is not the answer. You have to have something better than force. And that force is called love. He started talking to this gentleman, why you're doing this and other things. So he started telling that world must learn the lesson if you invade others' country, all sorts of things, what terrorist talks. So he was, and suddenly he could see with the corner of the eyes that a message now has been received that this man is in, I'm the hostage. People started collecting outside. He knew the commandos will come and they will start firing. He realized if the firing starts, he will start firing, and he was right in front of, he was the first man to be shot because he's right there. Or even if he dies, he'll explode himself because he never knew that you have got like a human bomb, what sort of things they do. He constantly started praying to Swami and talking so nicely. He did not lose his patience. It went on for a few minutes. And the firing started from outside. This man also opened the firing. He's doing all this. The people who are upstairs, 2 of them had the fatal injuries. Nothing has happened to him. And ultimately this man was injured, taken back and all those things. Nothing happened. Not even a scratch onto him. And he told the only shield he had was the Sai name on him. And this man has done such a great work. Somebody was telling me this morning that you have 28 centers in this region. Is that right? Have a wild guess. Nepal is probably smaller than Florida. I think it is 1/10 of a Florida geographically. How many centers are there? Any guess? 500. You are very close. 219 centers in that small village. And that clip will show you what the centers looks like. They are not like ordinary center. The center at Kathmandu is the center like Prashanti Nilayam. 1,000 people can sit, and at top, Swami's room is there, Swami's bedroom is there, Swami's office there, there's a desk and everything, and Swami's chair. And on one of the functions on the Shivratri day, people have seen Swami standing there, and they have taken the picture of that Swami. Wherever you sing the glory of Narayana, he will be there. That's what, because that is every centers which they have made is basis of the making the center is the service. They go into the villages, first of all, thanks to the wonderful bhajan singers, they really bring that great energy into the people. They will do the Nagar Sankirtan, sing the bhajan, tell them the wonderful, what the importance of the bhajan. Then they do the service, they do Narayan Seva. And when the people see that these people are really interested, they say, we want to do something. Then they will start a little medical unit. Automatically somebody will donate the land. You know, where this young man has given his uncle's 3-bedroom house. Before I left, he came to me on the last day. He said, my uncle has written, he's not coming anymore. You can have this house permanently. Can you imagine? This is how dedication, it's not a very rich country. So we were supposed to do a medical camp under the beauty of those people who have seen that place or not, under the foothills of Annapurna Mountains, beautifully, you know, the snow-clad mountains. And to go inside, it was a very difficult thing because you have to go between the fields. And the farmers have told, don't destroy our crops. So we have to, you know, on the margin, we call Meda, you have to walk on the edge of this land so you are not in this side. It's very difficult because some of the people have got problems walking, shoes, not proper shoes. We did the medical camp. That was fantastic medical camp. And once our medical camp is finished, the same land where we did the medical camp was donated to the organization to make a hostel and a school for those children from there. And now the problem is that how to bring the trucks, bricks, cement, mortar from the road to this place. The same farmers who object us walking to that one, when they knew what we did through the medical camp for that time, they said, we all give 6 meters of our land to each other for to making road for that one. That will be called Sai Road, for the love and the peace. That is what exactly the enthusiasm of the people. And every center is made by the bricks, and you will see some of the centers into that one. That is so important to see that all these people, because of the youth and everything, has totally transformed. Just last incidents into the Nepal. When I went for a follow-up camp, my flight was quite late. I came about 10:30, and one young man, his name is Sharad, he came to receive me, and he took me to where I was staying. And as he was going, I could see from the window, instead of going to his car, he's looking here and there, and then he disappeared. And after some time, I could not see him, so I was tired. So after my night prayer, I went to bed. And I asked, Sharad, what happened? He said, oh, doctor, when I went down in the morning, I saw there was a young boy, 7 years of age. So I went and brought some food for him and gave him the food. But I just wanted to inform somebody that this boy is alone. He looks quite poor, sort of a thing. What you would have done if you find a child like that? Anybody? If in the middle of the night, if you find a child sitting with nobody, who has got no parents, anything, what would you do? He did the same thing, and the police told him, actually, you make some arrangement for the child. We'll see in the morning what will happen. He took that child home with him in the night, and he made sure that his mother cooked something for him and kept him. The child is still with him because police said we can't find anybody else. So he has got somebody who adopted in the middle of the night. That is our responsibility. Once we see something, don't think the law won't be on your side. You make sure you do the right things, but don't leave somebody unattended. Who knows who the Swami is? And that brings me to that story back when I was talking that when Swami was telling the people that Dr. Paul, when he said, I would not have known Swami that she had the tuberculosis. I had the audacity of the Swami when Swami described that lady was old, 85-year-old. She had a white sari, all the blood stains and everything. I asked at that stage, Swami, how do you know Swami? Swami said, how do I know? I am there all the time with you. I want to see whether you are doing something what I have taught you to do. That's what Na jaane kis bhes mein Baba mil jaye Bhagwan. You never know in what form he come and test you, in what disguise. You will be very sorry that you did not do what you would have done for the Swami. That is what is so important. Just before we show that clip, there was one beautiful incident in the life of Kasturiji. There were wonderful days actually in 50s when Kasturiji was there. And Swami used to visit the devotees' houses actually during the, the festivities and all those things. And one important festival was coming. So he asked Swami, would you come and take the prasadam from our house? Swami said, yes, 12 o'clock, I'll come to your place. Morning, Kasturiji got up. So Kasturiji is a very, very, very strict man. I had an opportunity where, as a young doctor, out of all the people, Swami selected me to, he was having difficulty when he was writing the Ishwaramma, the chosen mother. He had some problem with the eyes. There are hundreds of wonderful learned doctors those days. I was very young. And somehow Kasturiji told me, Dr. Swami asked me that you should come and examine my eyes. I was shivering. I was not so much afraid of my examiner when I was taking my fellowship examination, but examining Kasturiji would have been a very difficult thing. So that was the thing. I was very disciplined. I reached 1 minute past 9. He closed the door. He said, you are 1 minute late. I follow what Swami said. 9 o'clock, you should be in the bed. That sort of person, that's when you live with Swami, you learn Swami's discipline. So Kasturiji came out. As he was coming out, his wife says, those days there were no gates. So a lot of beggars used to come inside. So his wife says, this is a good day today. You take something for the poor people as well. So she made something and gave it to him. He was holding. And there is a beggar came at the same time as coming. It is just 5 minutes to 12, almost 12, touching 12. So he gave it. He said, thank you, I brought something. He said, okay, Sairam, and gave it to him. And he did not even look at the beggar. And he went. And 12 o'clock, 5 minutes, 12, 10 minutes, 12. Swami is not coming out. Kasturiji, though, is so close to Swami. Door was half open, but even he cannot just go inside. Swami, may I come in until Swami comes in? And then he looked there, and he could see Swami. And he had this, he had the courage. He went near the door and pushed the door. Swami was sitting with the same bread what he gave to that poor man. You did not recognize me. You asked me to come 12 o'clock. I was there at that time. That was the beauty of things. So that we have to recognize. Unless we have that sort of love for each and every one, you never know when he comes, and you will really regret that. That old lady was none but the Swami. Just Swami wanted to test what we do, the thing. So there are so many incidences, and last 50 years I've done the medical camp. If we go on, probably it will take many hours to do, but now time is short. We'll just show you the small clip to see what Nepal have done. Can we just show that little clips? We have time to show.
Awareness of avatarhood of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba dates back to mid-60s, but it was not until 1972 that the first Sai Center was established in Nepal. Planted as a small seed, the Sai organization has grown into a banyan tree with currently 219 Sai centers throughout the country. Spread to as far north as Tibetan border Simikot, which remains 9 months under snow, the organization has covered 61 districts out of 77 in the country. Seva makes man spiritual. The magazine Bhagavan Baba has provided goes deep inside the psyche of Nepalese devotees. Accordingly, many permanent as well as short-term seva projects have been undertaken. Organization runs a Sri Sathya Sai Old Age Seva Ashram since 2 decades, providing food, clothing, shelter, and healthcare in a loving spiritual ambience to 17 senior members of society. The less educated and financially underprivileged girls of interior rural parts are very vulnerable to human trafficking. Many naive girls, especially the orphans, lured with dangers by the devious brokers, often find themselves at wrong places. In order to address this social menace, albeit to a small extent, the organization runs a Sri Sathya Sai Children's Home for girls at Chitwan. Altogether, 23 girls are receiving loving, homely care and education, both secular as well as spiritual. They are schooling at one of the best private schools in the area. Realizing the need for similar home for boys as well, another children's home for boys established 2 years ago at Pokhara where altogether 10 underprivileged boys live under loving care. In the field of healthcare, Sri Sathya Sai Health Service Center, established 2 decades ago at Kathmandu. Services provided are free medical consultations 6 days a week, pathology, X-ray, ultrasound, physiotherapy, medicines to approximately 20,000 patients every year. Similar health service is also operational at Pokhara. 2 homeopathy clinics have been operating in 2 other cities. In order to provide medical services to needy at their doorstep, the organization has been operating Sri Sathya Sai Mobile Health Service. Often, lack of fund deters the villagers from specialized treatment in city hospitals. The organization runs guest house for them at 2 cities, Kathmandu and Narayangarh. Residents are also provided free dry ration and required medical support. Nepal suffered a devastating earthquake in 2015. 9,000 people were killed, thousands became homeless, and over 5,000 houses gutted down. Besides the immediate relief and rescue seva, the organization constructed 61 homes for the victims at 4 different locations. The country is 2/3 full of mountains. Although much progress has been made in the area of rural water supply, there are still some pockets which have not got the side of government. In such villages, mostly women and children have to trade for hours to bring home a bucket of drinking water. This severely impacts the livelihood and health of women, besides depriving the children from attending the school in time. Organization has constructed so far 7 water supply projects, utilizing about 100 kilometers pipeline, benefiting over thousands of families and students. The school-going children now can go to school in time at such places. The water supply project, currently under construction, will provide safe drinking water to 155 tribal families. Being underprivileged, socially outcast,
They are all
they
young
lack
adults
drinking
and the
water,
youth from
access road,
organization
and
who were
electricity.
involved in
The Sai Seva
constructing
Dal
this
had to
pipeline.
make their
And look
own
at
road to
that
reach the
conditions,
place.
the muddy,
When Swami's
slipping
compassionate
roads.
glance fell on them,
Cars
not
stuck.
only the drinking water
It
reached
climbed
the
1
village,
kilometer
the
up and
road
slides 2
condition
kilometers
also
down.
improved to double lane, and electricity supply connected. This is a typical case of Swami's adage that God is for one who does not have anybody. Devghat, the Prayag of Nepal, lies at the confluence of holy rivers Kali, Seti, and Gandaki. Lakhs of pilgrims, even from the neighboring northern Indian areas, throng here for a holy dip every Shravan and Magh. Due to lack of public toilet, they have to face acute difficulties. The organization has constructed public toilets for them. The organization has constructed public toilet and Sava facilities at Pasupatinath temple premises, Kathmandu. In the area of value education, there are 2 Sri Sathya Sai schools, one in Kathmandu and another in Pokhara. Total 662 students are getting value education from 54 teachers. Institute of Sri Sathya Sai Education Nepal, ISSEN, provides training to school teachers on human value education. Government has included human value education as an optional subject in curriculum of classes 11 and 12. Institute trainers travel to their 20-year training hubs located at different remote parts of the country and train government's 4,000 master trainers, who in turn train teachers in remote areas. So far, 14,000 school teachers and 4,000 government master trainers, total 18,000 teachers, have received EHV training from the Institute. This apart, the Institute has conducted human value workshops and seminars for Supreme Court lawyers, police officers, medical doctors, engineers, senior banking officers, etc. Regular SSC classes are held for 9,000 children by 1,000 gurus. These are but some of the major seva activities of Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, Nepal. Apart from the regular seva activities conducted by the individual centers, such as Narayan Seva, medical camps, blood donation, blanket distribution, scholarship, books and stationery, tree plantations, etc. With humility, Nepalese devotees express their gratitude to beloved Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba for bestowing seva opportunities and beseech Bhagavan for such opportunities in times to come as well. Jai Sai Ram.
This is just a glimpse, actually, that what is going on, and we are very lucky that out of the Swami's 95th birthday project, we have taken one of the projects actually to. They did not wait for money; they started the work, and this is Swami's grace. The builder said, "I will start building. Give money when it comes." They have got so much faith in Swami that it will come and they will make it. That was such an important thing. And just to end the story, this is how you take one step and Swami does 10 steps. Very shortly, I just wanted to explain. We found out during the medical camp that a lot of the children, they were suffering from rheumatic heart disease and they have holes in the hearts and they required heart valves and other things. So we decided actually to support them. So we bought the valve and started doing. And then it wanted to become a sustained program. So we decided, because resources are limited to get the money to send for the heart valve, it will be very difficult. And so because there is already a lot of funding going to super specialty hospital and to Rajkot, where they have got another Swami's hospital, who are doing the similar work for the heart. So we were thinking, Swami, how can we do that? Because it's very difficult to take these children there. We finished the medical camp. Following year, the government has made a declaration that anybody who has got the heart problem due to the rheumatic heart diseases, the government will do it free. We take one step, government has made nationally free for everyone. Fine, they have got a national heart hospital, they are doing, the people come from long distances, they do the operation and they discharge them. And after discharging them, the problem is where this poor family will go. This is the beauty of Swami's love. Just behind the National Heart Hospital, between the river and the main road, Swami has given the land for these people where they made a center and the house, one kitchen, one room for these people who come for the heart operation. They stay there till the treatment is complete. They attend the bhajans every day. And when they go out, they do not go with a healthy heart. They take the Swami in their heart. Jai Sai Ram.